really in the past, it's quality all around on the diamond and the baseline. What instills that mindset into basketball players?
It started with my freshman year, having the work examples that we had with Campos and Keishel, so it kind of got ingrained into like my routine and stuff, and that's kind of just how it carried over to this year.
You put yourself on a national spotlight the last 2 summers for a lot of prospects guys looking at you. What have you've learned from the last 2 summers coming back here?
I love summer ball because it's baseball every day. I mean, that's what you love to do. So in the summer you can do that. It's kind of like pro ball, you know. It's the same routine each and every day. So I love it, and I love coming back here in the fall and getting after it and getting ready for the spring.
Is there a specific piece of advice that you got in the summer that's kind of going to stick with you heading into this fall season?
In summer ball, you just learn to be consistent. You know, like you got it baseball every day, so you kind of got to put your best effort out there. You know, even if you don't feel the best. So that's really all I've learned from that, and that's what I want to do out here in the spring.
You going into your 3rd season, how can you see you along with the other veterans kind of take a leadership role with the team with a lot of young players and a lot of transfers coming into this year?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a young team, but at the same time, it's like you look at who could possibly be starting. It's all upperclassmen, so I feel like we're a bunch of tight-knit, you know, group of guys, and I feel like that's all going to come together, and we're all going to be leaders.
What are the major things that will enable you to get to a higher plateau than you guys have been able to do thus far?
It's just being consistent and playing the game we know how to play. You know, in the past, it's just, you know, the pitchers aren't doing the best and the hitters are doing good, and it's the other way around when the pitchers are doing good and the hitters aren't doing the best. So it's kind of just coming together as a team and, you know, doing it the way we know how to do it.
What's your sense of the overall talent level?
It's the best we've had in the last couple of years, for sure. And we have a bunch of older guys, too, so I feel like that's going to play a huge role in how we play on the field.
Where do you think that you've made the biggest gains of the team?
Just the overall consistency aspect. I mean, obviously we've had a talented squad the last 3 years, but I feel like this group is very mentally sharp and ready to go for this year.
With the pitching staff coach is saying, I mean, facing some of these guys obviously in the games and early on, sometimes it's been a struggle. But what have you learned from the pitching staff, and how do you feel they've helped you guys grow as just hitters?
It's huge, because in the past it's been, you know, the hitters, you know, we dominate in the fall, you know, preseason we just dominate, right? But I feel like it's been, you know, 2 sides going at each other all fall, all spring. Like, we got a bunch of good pitchers and we have a lot of good hitters, and that's the way it should be in inter squads. So I feel like we finally got that aspect. So even if we're not hitting the best, I feel like we're developing. We're seeing some really high quality arms. So when it's time for season, we're going to be ready to go.
You had a great year last year. What are some things you learned about yourself coming into this year?
It's just the consistency aspect of it. Like last year, I feel like I did a really good job, but I can be more consistent and, you know, just more mentally sharp. So that's all I'm trying to do, and just carry it over and win a ton of games.
Isaiah and Ben last week talked about this, the most confident they've been since they've stepped foot on this campus coming into this season. Is that the same case for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident. I had a good year last year, and I had a good year in the Cape. So I'm just looking forward to putting it all together with this group of guys.
Do you have any personal goals for the season?
Not really. I just want to win and make a regional. I've actually never played like postseason ball in high school or anything, so I want to feel that.
Kean last week said that outside of the Tennessee guys, a lot of the players on the roster didn't make a regional last year. How have you seen that kind of be a goal, not only to make a regional, but to make it further than that, and just overall buy-in from the locker room?
I feel like we deserve it. I feel like we have the guys to do it, and we've had it in the past. So I feel like this year we deserve to put it all together and win a ton of games. And obviously it's not given, but I feel like if we play the right kind of baseball, we'll do that.
Last year, you guys ended the regular season really hot, but then kind of ran out of steam in the Pac-12. What did you kind of learn from that experience to take into this year?
I mean, we ended the year hot, but like it always is, it's those games that we're supposed to win that we lost last year. So I feel like this year we're going to do a lot better job of that. You know, beating the teams that we're supposed to beat, and taking care of everyone else. So just being consistent. If we're consistent, then I think we'll do a really good job.
You guys started the non-conference play with a lot of home series. How important is it for you to kind of start off strong and get this home crowd behind you?
I mean, it's great, and we're going to have really good weather and stuff too. So it'll just let us, you know, get hot and get rolling. So when we're on the road, we're going to be good to go.
Coach Blomquist mentioned that you're going to have, you know, an elevated, you know, role on this team. What does that mean for you mentally heading into this year?
I mean, it's the same game, you know. I mean, nothing really changes. It's, you know, doing your job and passing it to the next guy. So, I mean, it's always the same game. So, do your part and pass it on.
What's a series you have scheduled on the calendar this year?
What series like? What do you mean?
Like, which one are you looking most forward to?
Oh, Oklahoma State. I feel like that's gonna be really cool. And then hopefully we're going into the Big 12 championship and getting after it over there.
With Oklahoma State, there's a lot of historic teams, a lot of historic stadiums in this Big 12. Outside of those, are there any stadiums you're most excited to visit?
Definitely that one. I mean, it's always fun also playing U of A and like the teams we know. So I feel like it's gonna be fun. How last year I got to play in the Pac-12 and play against those teams, and now it's a whole different landscape of teams and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that.